Welcome to Rally Notes on Sports.com. My name is Greg Dorman. Thanks for joining us. While most of the rally drivers in US are getting ready to start at Olympus Rally, with us on the phone, not competing at Olympus Rally, is 2010 US Rallycross Champion in two-wheel drive, Josh Wimpey. How are you doing, Josh?
Doing well, Greg. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure to have you. Listen, Josh, two-wheel drive champ, been in rallying for a while. How did you start rallying? How did you get into the sport, and how long ago was that?
So I guess I got into rallying because back in 1999 or 2000, I found out that the Washington D.C. area had a rallycross program, which is like a autocross but in the dirt. And I went there because I thought it would be interesting, and I've met some people there and learned that stage rally actually exists in the U.S., which is something I didn't know. I'd seen WRC footage and stuff on TV before, but didn't know it existed in the U.S. That's how I found out about it, and it's been downhill ever since.
Awesome. I mean, was there anybody specific that got you in the sport, or that got you to Washington D.C. that day to get you involved in that sport?
It's been a while. I can't really remember. I know that my brother told me that the SCCA had this program from the DC area, and I remember meeting some rallyists there, like Dave Schindel and Rob Bergstrom and Mark Bowers, who organizes the Rally West Virginia event. And that was 11, 12 years ago, maybe. So.
Well, that's about the time that I started rallying in US. Was it back in '98? Last year, you have joined the new series to the new sport in US, the US Rallycross Championship. There was 4 events at New Jersey Motorsports Park. You did all 4 of them. What do you think about this new sport to US soil? And you are the current two-wheel drive champion. What do you think about this season? And are you planning to still do some events in Rallycross?
Well, I guess first of all, to talk about the new sport, I think it's a really exciting sport. It's quite a lot different than stage rally, but we had a great time last year. We showed up to the 4 events that were at New Jersey Motorsports Park, which is fairly close by, and really had a good time. The competition is intense. It's really great to be able to hang out with the fans all day, having people come in and out of the pits, and getting to shake hands and sign autographs and give people posters and hats and T-shirts. It's something, it's definitely a lot different than rally, and I think both of them have their place. I would love to do both. This season, the rallycross events are, well, I guess the 3 rallycross events that are part of the Global Rallycross Championship are more or less on the West Coast, and they were announced quite late in the season, and it was really too late for us to get a program together to go out and do that, especially with the extra distance involved there. Just getting across the country and back is a major ordeal. So I'd love to keep on doing it. I would love to come back and defend a two-wheel drive championship maybe next year. We'll see how the series progresses. So it looks really exciting, though. Great reception from the fans and from the participants. Everybody that I know that's done it has had a really good time. So.
Yeah, I mean, really having this sport at X Games and this Global Rallycross Series that's being televised on ESPN, I think it's going to grow in US, and I hope it will. Although I would not, see it rather take it a toll on regular stage rally, which we all love, and I'm sure you do too. Let's talk about the Mount Washington Climb to the Clouds rally race events that's coming back to the calendar this year after some time. This is a by invitation only event that you got the invitation to be there. Can you tell us more? How did you get there, and what the plan is for Mount Washington this year?
So yeah, Mount Washington hill climb is a super famous hill climb. I think it's the oldest or one of the oldest races in the United States, or auto races in the United States, and it's in the White Mountains in New Hampshire, and it hasn't been run since 1998, and I knew about it because I had seen videos of the Sprongles racing their Audi up the hill, and that's just fantastic, captivating footage, and it's very iconic. And this year, I guess last year, at one of the Rallycross events, I'd been speaking with Paul Giblin, who is organizing the event, and he had mentioned that they're going to bring back the Mount Washington hill climb. And the first thing that came out of my mouth is, okay, what do I need to do to make sure that I can go to the Mount Washington hill climb? Is something I would love to do, and that we've wanted to do for a long time. So that kind of planted the seed. We went through the application process this winter and got one of the slots. So we're thrilled to be there. We're really excited to go. I think it's going to be a fantastic event.
Yeah,
it looks like
there's about 70.
And
there's about 70 cars that are on the entry list, and about, if I remember right, about 20 or 30 of them are rally cars. I know that you are building a new car. Is that going to be ready for Mount Washington?
I think it will be ready. It depends. I don't know if we'll have done enough testing with it yet. It'll definitely be drivable by then, and we'll have to see how it performs. And that'll make the determination whether we bring the new car or the kind of tried and true mule that we've been using for the past 5 years. I guess we'll see how it turns out. We won't really know until turn the key and step on the gas and see how it goes.
What is the new car? Are you still staying with the Mark II body of Volkswagen Golf?
Yeah, so it's another it's a Mark II Volkswagen Golf, but what we've done is kind of gone in a different direction with the drivetrain. We went to a modern power plant, but we threw a twist in with it. It's a turbo diesel, so it's a modern engine with the turbocharger and an intercooler and all that stuff, but diesel powered. So it's going to be interesting. Should be cranking out 350 foot-pounds of torque, and that's a lot of twist. So hopefully it'll end up being a lot of fun if we can keep the axles from snapping.
What makes that chassis so interesting for you that you still going with the same chassis in the next car?
You know, I've had a Volkswagen Golf, or actually GTI. It was the first car that I bought when I was in college, and actually Jeremy and I bought it together and shared it. It was a 1985 GTI, and they're just great cars. They're lots of fun. They're light. They handle well, and they're like Legos. You can mix and match parts from one generation to the next, forward and backward. So they're a lot of fun to work with, and we've got a lot of ties in the Volkswagen Audi community that we've been working with for years. So that made the decision pretty easy.
I remember 2006, 2007, we were racing against each other, and the competition was very close between you guys, you and your brother, and myself and Rafael Listopad. I never forget these years, and I hope one day we'll get a chance to race in the same class, rally in the same class again, so we can trade times with your brother. Olympus Rally starts this weekend. It's the first round of Max Attack Series, the two-wheel drive series in United States. Why don't you talk about, because you took part of Max Attack in a couple of times, and why don't you tell us a little bit about that series, and who do you think is going to take the top spot in Olympus?
So Max Attack is back again this year, and a great championship series. We get the best two-wheel drive drivers out, and lots of competition. You see at these events 25 or 30 two-wheel drive cars enter a single event, whereas the non-Max Attack events, sometimes it's only 5 or 10 two-wheel drive cars enter. So it really, people kind of live for these events, at least in the two-wheel drive world. People just live for these events to come out and really hammer with each other, get out and see what they've got. I think there's a lot of competition at the front. Some of the winners from past rounds of the Max Attack are not entered, so I think it's going to be a big battle. We've got ACP is in a brand new car to him. He's in the Scion that Chris Duplessis was driving earlier this year and last year. And from what I understand, it's got some more power than it did when Chris was driving it. So Andrew's moving from a four-wheel drive car to the Scion. It should be interesting. He started out in a two-wheel drive, actually, Volkswagen Golf. So he knows what he's doing. Wyatt Knox is quick. He's made some improvements to the Mazda Speed 3 that they're running. So I would count on him being right there in the mix. Dylan Van Way, of course, is quite fast, and he has that new Fiesta that he's been working on. I don't know if they managed to get the turbocharger installed on it yet or not. I know they were trying to do that earlier this year. If he did, he'll certainly be quick. If he didn't, he'll still be up there in the mix, especially on the stages that aren't real power friendly. And I know there's some others. There's Dave Hintz has moved from four-wheel drive back to two-wheel drive, and he has a brand new to him, a brand new build for a E36 BMW M3 that he's running out there, which should really be exciting to watch. And of course, the Burris brothers are local favorites. And they have a Mark II GTI with a turbocharged 16 valve in it that should be quite quick. They're always fast in their old Revit. So I think it's anyone's game, and there's probably 5 or 6 other people that I didn't even mention that could.
We're watching a video of you and your brother catching up to an Evo 10 on a stage in Maine. Is there anybody else that is going to be that quick to catch up an Evo 10 with the Mark II Volkswagen out in Olympus?
I'd have to look at the entry list and see which Evo 10s are sitting in front of who. But I think it's definitely possible. The two-wheel drive guys, especially when the Max Attack flag is flying, people are pushing to the limit, and you see a lot of four-wheel drive guys get a bit embarrassed. You end up with a two-wheel drive up in the top 5 or top 10 overall at events, which means that there's a lot of open class cars with 300, 350 horsepower that are just getting spanked by guys in Golfs and Hondas and Scions and Fiestas, and it's really a lot of fun for us.
Oh, I can agree more than what you said, and we did it really hard at Rally Tennessee 2007, if I remember right, and I believe you guys placed 3rd overall at that rally in 07, and that's pretty big for a two-wheel drive car against Evo 10s, Subaru STIs, and a bunch of powerful four-wheel drive cars. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I remember that event. You guys had some engine trouble, but we were trading times within 1 or 2 seconds of stage before you guys broke. But since then, I think the competition has gotten even more intense with the two-wheel drive. Last year at Rally Tennessee, Doug Shepard won overall. We took 2nd place overall, so we had a 1-2 two-wheel drive podium, overall podium. A couple of years ago at Rally Idaho, Lachlan O'Sullivan won overall in an SRT4. We finished 3rd place, something like 4 seconds behind Paul Eklund in open class STI. So the two-wheel drive competition, when it gets hot, it gets really hot.
Well, I know Rafael Listopat is building an SRT4, and he's planning to come back either to Rallycross or Rally. So maybe we'll get a chance to compare some times again. What's next for Quantum Rally Sports besides Mount Washington race?
So we were going to do Rally Tennessee, which is this weekend, and then I realized that I actually have a fuller plate than expected. It's the end of the semester, so I'll have classes and finals, final papers, final exams that are due next week, so it wasn't possible to get down there. So we're going to do Mount Washington. Rally West Virginia is making a comeback this year. It's going to be hosted at the Snowshoe Mountain Resort in West Virginia. And we're going to try to come up and do New England Forest Rally, which is another one of the Max Attack rounds. And then the Max Attack finale is at Lake Superior Rally up in Michigan in sometime in October. So we get a bit busy this summer and then a little bit of a break and before LSPR in the fall.
Yeah, well, that's great. I'm really happy to see Rally West Virginia come back, and I think that's a great event. Some really spectacular roads, and I'm hoping to see you at the New England Forest Rally, as well as maybe LSPR. The 2 round of Max Attack. Is there a chance to take the Max Attack crown if you just do those 2 events?
That's the goal, is to get up there and at New England Forest Rally and give everything we've got so that we have some points going into the Lake Superior Rally and try to finally win the Max Attack Championship. We've been competing in Max Attack events for since it started 4 years ago, and never been able to do the whole championship and come down to the end. So maybe this year we'll be able to get in there and show everybody what we've got.
Well, all the best from Rally Notes crew, and I hope you guys make it this year. My guest tonight, Josh Wimpey with Quantum Rally Sport, and thank you for joining me tonight, Josh.
Thanks a lot for having us.
Thank you. Good night.